All right, y'all. Boruto chapter 55. We're going to get y'all a review. I first want to hit y'all with some, like, the chapter accomplishment, because I don't like when motherfuckers just, be giving you the whole ass recap of a fucking chapter and then calling it a review. I'm going to hit y'all with the pros and then the cons. So, first things first, overall, of course, the cover art. Let's not just skip over the fucking cover art, dog. That's my new fucking screensaver off the rip. But as far as the goal and accomplishments of this chapter itself, I would say that, of course, it was one of them ones that just pushed the narrative forward. But at the same time, it also birthed the new villain being Code. And to be honest with you, I'm a little bit, I don't know how I feel about Code. Because I feel like, and I know he's a anime exclusive character, but with what we got from Deepa, they gotta fucking knock Code out the park. And I'm saying that because when we got Deepa, he kind of like he was a character that kind of caught you off guard. Like, I don't think anyone really knew how much they would like Deepa, but with Code, it's kind of like he has so much hype, he has all this building up, and for him to be like this super intense villain at this point where we are in the manga versus what we're looking at him in the beginning of the where we are now in the anime, it doesn't really seem like the personalities really match up. He seems kind of like a not even a bitch boy, but like a little punk, like a little pussy, in the anime as opposed to in the manga where he's just so calm, cool, and collected. Like, imagine if we never got any of those car interaction in the anime with Code, and we're just getting this. We're thinking of fucking Code as like a fucking god, like he gonna be next up type shit. Whereas I feel like the anime kind of cheapened his character a bit, and I don't think in a Toby way. A lot of people like to say Toby, but to me, I see him more as a Kimimaro because it's kind of like the thing, like, oh, I wasn't good enough to be the vessel, so now my will is to just accomplish Orochimaru's goals by any means necessary, and that's how pretty much Code's relationship is with Ishiki. But what another thing I wanted to add with Code himself is because he's already one of them characters who had that drip. I mean, the motherfucker's gonna be my screensaver, right? But to give him a karma seal, that kind of adds more sauce to my man's. And not only that, he has like a specialized one. It's called the white karma seal. But it's kind of weird because on one end, it's like, okay, it's a dud, but now all of a sudden this dud's gonna be the thing that makes him so powerful. It's a little bit, back and forth. I'm a little bit back and forth with it, but I'm down for the story. I fuck with Boruto, dog. But onto my list of cons. I guess we could keep going with the cons. That really wasn't really my con, but it was just kind of like something I accepted. But the first thing was, and I don't really care about this either. It's like, fuck it, it's Naruto. But Kurama's explanation to Naruto about most of the times when a Jinchuriki's beast dies within him, the Jinchuriki dies himself. But hey, the rules don't apply to you, bruh. And I'm okay with that because, like I said, it's Naruto. Like, nigga, you Naruto. This your fucking show, bruh. You passing it down to your son, but fuck it, dog. It is what it is. And the second thing that I didn't really like, and it kind of ties again with the anime, is I feel like we just got out of a point, or we just watched an episode where Boruto's attitude was very seemingly affected by the shit that was happening, being Mujino dying and wanting to avenge Mujino and shit. You see him very uh like damn near heartbroken. Whereas in this point, everything kind of seemed like kind of like lighthearted and jokey. Like they kind of just glance over the fact that, hey man, you stabbed me in the eye. Let's move on. Type shit. Like, get over it, bro. It happened. Whereas in the anime, he kind of takes time to fucking cry. He takes time to fucking have a speech and all that type of shit. And it's not necessarily that it's a bad thing. It just kind of seems like it doesn't mesh totally. But it's like nothing that's fucking deal breaking. Like, I fucked with this chapter. This is a dope ass chapter to me, in my opinion. It has some of the best art that we've seen. And I want to move on to the pros now. Let's get on to the pros. And I know I just said like the humor thing was kind of awkward, but where we are now, I'm kind of glad because it was supposed to be like a sad type of thing. Kurama's dead, but they made it funny. Like Naruto's opening words to him as saying goodbye is like, "Yeah, man, you killed my mom, you killed my pop, but hey, man, I'm gonna miss you. You fucked with me. I fucked with you." That was funny. I like that route. Like, I'm glad they didn't make it so epic. They didn't make it so like, "Oh, I'm crying," but they did give you it in the detailing of the fucking panel where Kurama's just like dying and fading away. Now that's where I kind of got in my own feelings. Whereas, just moments ago I was laughing. So I think that was a dope little thing because they want to like I said, tug on your emotions, but they want you to smile a bit. They want you to enjoy the chapter, right? And we also get more humor when Kawaki kind of interrupts the whole family moment. Hey, you survived, Dad. And Sasuke's kind of talking to Naruto. He's like, yo, bruh, we can save this for when we get back home. Can we kind of go home now? Like, that was a funny moment, too, as well. And it also was like a double-edged sword where it's kind of like another thing where let's move forward with this narrative. And I think a lot of it has to be because it's a manga. We're reading it. We only have so many pages, so the anime for sure will flesh it out more. But it was a dope little tool to use, you know, like being what your resources are doing the manga, right? And then the final thing that I thought they added a little humor to was, you know, Sasuke's Rinnegan. He's like, yeah, because, you know, I can't use my eye anymore. And that's where we get more of, like, the humor, like I said, in this whole chapter itself. And it kind of reminds me, like, shit like this kind of reminds me of Jujutsu Kaisen, like the anime at least, because I don't read the manga. Whereas it could be so, like, serious and intense, and then they find moments to, like, crack jokes where it's not so, you know, out of place. A second pro is they kind of give you hints and a curiosity for the future. So we have Kawaki and Boruto. I feel like they're going to have like a training arc just based off the dialogue that they had where Kawaki's pretty much telling him like, hey man, I'm a vet when it comes to karma. You know, I'm not trying to showboat, but I could kind of give you some hints, like let's try to go back home together type shit. And we also have Amato, who was relieved that Kawaki survived. And let's not forget, because initially when all this shit was happening, it was his suggestion where he was like, hey, you could just kill him if you want to. You could just kill him. And Naruto was the one that was like, nah, bro, he's not going to die. I'm not going to let that happen. Now it's all of a sudden, okay, thank God he survived. So we know he has some tricks up his sleeve. Why is this man so, you know, I still don't trust him. I know I went back and forth. I don't trust the motherfucker. And another thing that I felt was done well is, and it's more so on my same point of the thinking about the future of this series, because right now where we are, Kawaki clearly has a love for Naruto, and at first I thought like something was wrong with him when he kind of like it looked like he fainted, and then like when he's on his back, he kind of sighs of relief, like, oh, thank God this is over. We accomplished our mission. It just makes me think, what the fuck happens in the future to just make shit just go all the way south and this motherfucker's out here trying to kill people? And one like little slide thing I think went unnoticed the first time I read it was when Kawaki was talking about, hey, just because I got my karma done and my shit's no longer on my skin does not mean I'm not trying to help you. I want to get rid of that, and I want to get rid of anyone else who has the seal. And Sasuke kind of looks like, it's like a panel with him and ... So it's kind of like, does Kawaki know something that we don't? So we're going to get more into it next time. I only had about 8 minutes left on my phone to record, so I just want to get y'all a little bit of that. But like I said, overall, this was a dope chapter. We are now introduced to Code, the white karma mark, and maybe I'll do videos later on in the future to kind of do some theories or something.